Loso tribe, friends, and family. This message is going to be for all signs today. It's a channeled message, so just take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't for the next person. And if you would like a personal reading, a one-on-one personal session, or Akashic records, you could go to 144bluerosetemple.com. As always, thank you for all of your love. Thank you for your support. If my energy and my readings resonate, and it's interesting, for the first time I almost said if my readings or energies manifest for you. Okay, so this reading is taking a little bit of a turn. Anyway, if my readings resonate with you, feel free to subscribe and click on the notification bell so you can know when the next reading does come out. For some of you, something's going to manifest for you, okay? And what was coming through before, like, so my child message is going to be that your spiritual support is increasing and you're very supported at this time. I was actually going to look into what it is that you're being supported in spiritually, that you have a lot of spiritual support. And for the first time, like, if it manifests for you, okay? So something is about to manifest or materialize for you. We're gonna see what it is. Thoth, Divine Masculine, Earth Magic, Artemis, Brave Spirit. Okay, so I do feel like definitely something is going to materialize for you at this time. It's been something it is that you've been visualizing, been manifesting. I do see Artemis energy here too, so Brave Spirit. You've had to be brave over here. What I'm also hearing is like conscious matter. Okay, so whatever that means to you, for some of you, you may be very like into the sciences. What I'm seeing is a lot of like chemistry, biology, like atoms and molecules. Okay, so you're someone who it feels like the way that your brain operates is very like mathematical or even scientific. I actually, like, it feels at 144, as soon as I say that, it feels very beautiful. You know, you're someone who's very into the sciences or math in some way, shape, or form. Now, this could be, though, even when it comes to energy and spirituality. Okay, for some of you, you're very spiritually gifted. Okay, what I'm also seeing is like your ability to visualize, to really alchemize. Okay, now what do we have for Divine Masculine, Earth Magic, and Brave Spirit? We do have Farewell to the Moon, Appreciate and Enjoy the Lunar Light and Cycles. What else do we have for? We have Honor the Masculine over here. Okay, so for some of you, definitely a lot of masculine energy, respecting men, embracing the masculine divine. We do have Keep Going. So you may even be a masculine, because I'm getting a very beautiful mind. Now, time out. Contemplation, solitude, time alone, telepathy, mind reading, motherhood, protection, inner child, and nurture. So I might be reading for a masculine energy right now, or maybe you have a lot of masculine. It could be just your inner masculine. Okay, so take it as it resonates. It's either your inner masculine, you know, or you really do identify as the embodiment of masculine energy. I am getting a lot of masculine, like logic. You know, the way that you operate, the way that you view the world and see things is actually very beautiful. Okay, I get that maybe you're into the sciences, math, just studying in general. However, this is also like your gift. Okay, like your ability to alchemize or to even see things in energy is very divine, is what I'm seeing. You may also be someone who's very telepathic. I do feel like with the Farewell to the Moon and Time Out, especially if you're like a masculine embodiment, with the Moon card, right, that's the energy of surrender. It is the feminine energy of surrendering, of being receptive, even withdrawing. Okay, I do feel like collective. If this resonates with you so far, there is a need for you to kind of tune out a little bit, to take some time alone, or to slow down in some way, shape, or form. We do have telepathy here too. Okay, so you're someone who's very telepathic. You may feel even quite misunderstood as what's coming through too. Again, the way that your brain operates, the way that you see the world is just so different. Okay, and that's what I'm seeing. It's very different. It's very beautiful, but there's a part of you that feels very misunderstood. Okay, like it's almost the energy of like Albert Einstein. 33 seconds as soon as I say that too. Some of you may resonate with Albert Einstein, but I'm getting like Albert Einstein, right? And while Albert Einstein invented so much, and it's interesting, right? Because Albert Einstein really did study light, how light reflects pi, right? And the way that energy works, P equals MC squared, etc. For some of you, you have a past life, perhaps of like some sort of like mad scientist, you know, and you still have that soul fragment in this lifetime. Perhaps in this lifetime, you just like resonate with people like Albert Einstein. But I'm getting the way that you think, right? People don't quite understand you, but you do have this ability to like make things happen. For some of you, again, in a past life, you were a scientist, you know, maybe even a scientist in this lifetime. But I feel like the way that you can use that soul fragment in this particular lifetime is knowing how energy, matter, and alchemizing works. Like, it's almost like you can do that with your mind, which is so beautiful. Like, whoever I'm reading for, you need to let me know if I'm reading for you, because like, it is just so beautiful. You're also very gifted. And so that's why, for some of you, you may even have anxiety. And it feels like the reason that you have anxiety is because like there is just so much that comes through for you. Not only are you someone who's very intelligent, and I'm getting like studious wise, you're very intelligent, you also can really channel spirit. You're very spiritually gifted. We also have telepathy here. Okay, what I'm getting is some inner child healing. You may have been bullied as a child for this, actually. Protection, inner child, and nurture. I do feel like you're nurturing your inner child. You are someone who maybe is in solitude a lot or spends time alone, but you're such a beautiful soul is what I see. So like, you're someone who maybe isn't so social. Okay, maybe even growing up you had some like social, what's the word? You had trouble socializing with others. Again, like you feel like you didn't fit in, etc. You will find people that you fit in with, but that's kind of how I see you, is like in your own little fishbowl over here, but there's so much that goes on. You know, it's like you really can't get bored by yourself either, but there is still though a part of you that even feels a little bit protective. And I do feel like it's actually more of the inner child, but you're actually like so beautiful. Like, that's how I see you. You know, Knight of Coins over here. There's a song by One Direction. I know it's One Direction, but from years ago, of That's What Makes You Beautiful. Like, this is actually what makes you beautiful. And I feel like you're someone who, again, you're not so social. You're not around a lot of people. Kind of makes me want to cry. But I do feel like you need to hear the words of like, this is what makes you beautiful. And I do feel like you're actually a man, or maybe have a lot of masculine energy. Again, male or female, just take this as your inner masculine. A lot of tingling on the crown chakra. Now, what do we have for this reading for the collective? For divine masculine, earth magic, brave spirit, honor the masculine, farewell to the moon, motherhood, telepathy, and timeout. We have 7 of Swords, 10 of Wands, 8 of Coins. And this is actually kind of how I see you. We do have justice over here. Okay, so balance surrounds you and your life at this time. 7 of Swords. You've always felt like there was a part of you that you were not able to express. The spirit of the fox, like this reading actually makes me want to cry, because you are such a beautiful soul and people have not seen you for who it is that you are, because it's been hard for you to express yourself, actually. You know, so for some of you, I do feel like certain things socially, like you've really struggled socially since a child. And it does make me want to cry, because I'm seeing the parts of you that you've had a very hard time expressing. So for some of you, you do have some sort of creativity or expression block, but it's been hard for you because there's so much inside of you that you're not able to fully express in the way that you see it or experience it. You do have 7 of Swords here. I feel like for some of you, again, and it's been burdensome for you with this 10 of Wands. You haven't felt like you could actually fully express yourself. You've always felt like there's this part of you that's hiding in some way, shape, or form. I do feel like for some of you growing up, or just in general, maybe even in adulthood, people kind of see you as a little bit like off or weird, or it's like they even feel like you're a little bit sneaky. 33 seconds as soon as I say that, and I don't feel like you are. I feel like you actually struggle with socializing. But it's because of all of this beautiful energy, which when we think of Albert Einstein wasn't too social. Like, there was all these different theories, right? Of like Albert Einstein, what he had or like didn't have. but that's kind of how I see you, right? And it's almost felt like you, with the fox energy too, like you've had to be a little bit sneaky, right? And not sneaky, but that's maybe even how people perceive you. Like they're perceiving you socially in the wrong way. 10:10 as soon as I look at the clock. All right, so some people, and it hurts you though. That's what I'm seeing, is like it actually has hurt you in the past. This has felt burdensome to you. You're someone who has such a great deal of wisdom, such a great deal of like even intellectual smarts. But to the point of, and not your own demise, but to the point where it's burdensome for you. Now we do have 8 of coins here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 of coins. I do feel like you're getting to work, and I do feel like you're actually maybe working on it. Like this is not something, 144, as soon as I look at the clock from looking down the whole time. So I don't feel like this is forever. I do feel like this is something that you can heal. For some of you, if you do feel like there's social or creativity blocks, I would say a lot of solar plexus and sacral healing. You can very much heal from this, you know. And are you ever going to be like the next person? No, this is your gift. This is what makes you so beautiful, 1111. But I do feel like you can improve the way it is that you communicate, the way it is that you express yourself, or even socializing with others. Now, why do we have 7 of Swords here? Why do we have the 10 of Wands? Why do we have the 8 of Coins? Why 8 of Coins with Judgment? Why 8 of Coins with Judgment? We do have Page of Swords over here. Why the Death card? Now we do have 10 of Cups, 7 of Swords. For some of you, I do feel like it's almost like hiding from your family in a sense with the 10 of Cups, right? I do feel like this has been hard on you, okay? Now we do have Knight of Cups and the 10 of Wands. Why Knight of Cups and the 10 of Wands here? The 2 of Coins. For some of you, there's definitely some sort of death and rebirth over here. You do have the 8 of Swords, okay? Ooh. What is this energy? Death card, 3 of Coins, Judgment card, 8 of Swords, 8 of Coins. For some of you, I do feel like there is a big death and rebirth when it comes to like even your work, okay? I do feel like there's a balance that needs to come in because we have the 2 of Pentacles here. For some of you, and it's interesting I mentioned like Albert Einstein, right? And like scientists and logic. There needs to be a balance of logic and the rest. Logic and the heart. Because we did have Justice on the bottom of the deck. You're having a big death and rebirth when it comes to, it feels like for some of you, your work. I do feel like socially, you may struggle a little bit. And so you've put all of your energy into your work, maybe into your craft. And I do though feel like it's more time to socialize, to really be with people, etc. For some of you, it feels like you're going through a big death and rebirth with your work because it may actually be an escape. 3 of Pentacles over here. 8 of Swords. It feels like it's actually an escape. And it's interesting that I mentioned like, you know, like scientists and things like that, Albert Einstein. For some of you, you use work or even studying as an escape from like people in society because it makes you feel uncomfortable in a sense. Why the 8 of Swords with the 3 of Coins and Death card? The Moon card, your shadows, your fears. Why the Moon card here? Now you do have the Queen of Cups, okay? So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Why the Moon card with the Queen of Cups? You do have Justice, okay? So there's justice that's surrounding you at this time, or there's balance that's coming into your life, okay? You could be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. We do have the Death card over here, so it could even be Scorpio energy specifically. Now, where's the collective's energy in this reading? We do have Brave Spirit, Artemis, and then Strength over here. So I do feel like you're doing maybe a lot of inner child healing. right? You are being called to be strong, to be brave. For some of you, I see you very studious. I see that you work really hard, but it may even be like a form of an escape, and could be hindering you a little bit with the Eight of Swords. What is this Eight of Swords? What is this blockage for the collective? Knight of Coins, okay? So in a sense, it kind of slows you down a little bit. Why the Eight of Swords with the Knight of Coins? Four of Swords. I do feel like you're healing, okay? Now, for some of you, again, like maybe you really do love work. You do love to study, etc. But there's some sort of need to heal, right? I do feel like working a lot or even studying a lot in the past has been a form of an escape, but it's still escapism. And that's what's coming through. Now, what comes from this Death card? You better just let it happen. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. You're getting ready to see something you've never seen. For some of you, and what's also coming to mind, there's a song that says, the darkness has its teachings. The darkness has its teachings. You are really being called right now. With that Strength card and Artemis Brave Spirit, you're facing your fears. For some of you, it's actually socialization in some way, shape, or form. It's the fear of being seen, the fear of truly expressing yourself. As a child or in the past, you were very studious. You work very hard. But it's actually a form of escapism, and I feel like you would have to go, like dig deep in the shadow to like see that. Because we do have a lot of Moon card energy too. So a lot of Cancer energy. We have Cancer, Leo, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, heavy on the Scorpio energy here. When it comes to this Death card, we have the Six of Wands. Why Death card with the Six of Wands? Okay, you have beautiful energy coming in, but you need this death and rebirth. It's divine judgment that this happens because there needs to be a balance, it feels, of like the logic and the heart space. You know, like you're just someone who's so gifted. But I feel like what's coming through is like, again, that inner child, right? You were really good at school. Like you really studied a lot or you worked a lot, but as a means of like trying to escape. And that's what this is showing. But when you have this death and rebirth, so I do feel like judgment, divine judgment over here is where for some of you, like you're being called not to work, which is interesting, right? We have a lot of masculine energy. I do see you in general very much in your head most of the time. Like you're someone who, again, maybe anxiety or like can be very much found in their head. So there's some sort of divine judgment here where when it comes to work, it actually slows down for some time. I don't feel like it's the end. Death card. It's the end of what once was, but I don't feel like it's the end for you because you actually are victorious here. Six of Swords. You're moving forward into more peaceful waters. Why Six of Wands and Six of Swords? The Hermit card. But as you dive deep within yourself, why Six of Wands, Six of Swords, and the Hermit? Don't give up. The Chariot card. Don't give up at all. There's definitely a shift when it comes to your career, your work. For some of you, again, like you just study a lot. The only reason why this has been shifted, halted, it was very divine. I'm getting a little bit of Kalima energy because that's kind of Kalima energy too. It's not the end. When it comes to the Death card is never the end. There's always a new beginning with an end. And I'm getting transformation. This is deep, deep shadow work coming through here. I do feel like it's like a little bit of an ego death. And I feel like if you dig deep into the shadow, like the Hermit card, going deep within self, I do feel like as a child, you were very studious or worked very hard, but because you struggled socially is what's coming through. And that this is a fear to kind of face. This is temporary. It's not the end. It's the end of what once was. It's actually bringing a very victorious new beginning. So if you do face your fears, if you do this shadow work, I do feel like this new beginning over here is very powerful. You're being led to calmer waters. We do have the Nine of Wands over here. This is someone who doesn't give up. This is the wounded healer. You can even help other people through this. Why the Nine of Wands here for the collective? Don't give up. Do not give up. This is Kalima energy, and this reading really makes me want to cry. Your finances and your career is only temporarily going through something. And I hear like the sirens, right? Judgment card. It's temporary. Knight of Coins. Things have been slowed down for you on purpose. Don't give up and keep going, because you have a Ten of Pentacles coming if you don't give up. That death is not the end. It's only the death of the ego. And what I'm seeing is that, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but you're someone who has used studying or working very hard, but to escape certain things, and also for some of you, socializing is what's coming through, you know, in some way, shape, or form. But if you just stop, take some time to surrender, like put down the working, the this, the that, and just sit with self. And that's what I'm seeing is like you could really use silence. Hermit card energy, just silence and just going within. You're someone who's so gifted. But I do feel like it was a little bit of the anxiety energy. So maybe you do have anxiety, or it's just like you have so much within you and it's so beautiful. But there's a need to like slow down, let this happen, because your biggest win is coming. Your biggest win yet. If you don't give up, Nine of Wands, the card of the wounded healer. This is someone who does not give up. They're tired, but they don't give up. Do the healing work, because behind the healing is your Ten of Pentacles. Now, what do we have for this reading for the collective? We do have Apollo, divine messages. We do have sacred medicine as well. Sacred medicine can resonate with you. We do have Kundalini energy here. Lilith, face your shadow. So I do feel like you're facing your shadow. We have Apollo, divine messages. And as you can see here, it's like, you know, there's so much here and it's so beautiful. And for some of you, you may even get this message when you're doing like maybe even sacred or plant medicine in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so that's what's coming through too. What else do we have for this reading for the All Signs Collective? What do we have for this reading? Full moon, that can resonate with you. There's some messages that we have for this reading. There's some messages that we have. Full moon really wants to come out, Reiki, and release fear. Okay, for some of you, the full moon may have something to do with this timing. We do have Reiki and release fear. So release fear. And Reiki, you could really benefit from Reiki right now as well. What's one final message for the collective for this reading? Life force energy, and then Shiva. Okay, so the serpent may resonate with you as well, or Shiva. With the life force energy, I do actually feel like you're going through a Kundalini awakening, and maybe your Kundalini awakening is what's bringing this all up for you. I get releasing fear. I get even inner child stuff here too. Again, if you feel like your work has been halted, it's just not as busy as it once was. If you're not able to work for a period of time, for some of you, maybe you are going through a Kundalini awakening and can use some time away from work. It's only temporary, and it will kill the ego. But let me tell you, if you keep going, and you, Shiva, yes, Shiva is that energy of surrendering, just surrendering. And that's hard to do. But if you keep going and if you do surrender, you get a 10 of Pentacles, okay? Motherfuckers. All right, so what else do we have for the collective for this reading? It's interesting. We have sacrifice. There are those that are worth making. There are those that will destroy you. And I do get a lot of Kalima energy in this reading, so I may even grab her deck as well. I do feel like the sacrifice here is where there is some sort of slowing down of your craft, of your work, or again, maybe the masculine energy of like going, which that is masculine energy. And that's just collective overall, whether you're male or female. We're programmed in a patriarchal society to go, go, go. There are those that are worth making. There are those that will destroy you. You may fear of like, okay, but if I don't work this much, if I don't do this, if I don't do that, what's going to happen? It's just something that you're used to. And it actually will not destroy you. It's interesting. We have Shiva energy. Shiva's the destroyer. And I'm getting a call at the same time. So Shiva can resonate with you. Shiva is the destroyer. So is Kalima energy too. But not in the means of like negative destruction. This like destructive energy that you feel is temporary. It's a lot of the ego. But it's worth making. Because you do have a 10 of Pentacles here. Okay, bottom of the deck is the return of Aphrodite. Temple, birth of the goddess, guidance, goddess energy, and treating as sacred. So whether it's goddess though or God energy, you're going through a purification. And I do feel like you're coming into really actually your sacred self. Okay, and so I do feel like this will benefit you. I don't feel like it's something bad. It's very uncomfortable. I do feel like this is actually since a child. So this is something that's going to be hard, like, you know, not that it's going to be hard, you know, but you've held on to it since a child. And it's a lot of inner child work. You get the 10 of Pentacles though. You really do. And this is some hard shadow work, but you have brave spirit, you have strength card over here. Be brave, because this really does work out for you. Okay, that's what I'm seeing here. Yeah, it does say time out, contemplation, solitude, time alone. So it's either like you're working less, your work has slowed down, you're taking time off of work, or you're taking time away from people in general and you're just alone. It's to heal this. And when it comes to this sacrifice energy, again, this is something you've held on to since a child, but you get with the 10 of Pentacles if you keep going. Okay, so through this death, you do get a 10 of Pentacles. What's another message for the collective? Yes, the healing temple, restoration, cure, and safety. Light beings, portals, and subtle energies. So I do feel like you're healing over here, but you're safe. All is well. It's shifting reality as you've known it, but all is well. And you have such a big win after the 6 of Wands, 10 of, not 10 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, the Hermit card. You do have such a beautiful energy here. What else do we have? We have messages, channels, information, and then the green man, okay? So I do feel like this is the time to slow down. Shiva energy, just surrender. Really listen. And it may not be easy for you too. You could be someone that's always going, someone who's a hard worker, etc. But you're going to receive divine insight, a lot of healing. And let me tell you, you are getting that 10 of Pentacles. I'm going to grab some other cards of advice. I'm going to grab this deck, and then I'm going to go grab the Kalima deck. What else do we have for the collective here? Be flexible and detach. So don't worry about anything. You will be adequately provided for, but not through holding on to attachments. The universe enforces the perfect balance. Justice card, live simply. So I do feel like you're detaching from things, letting go, whether it's figuratively or physically. We have be flexible. Everything happens for a reason. There are many options out there. Perfection is an illusion. You can move forward even while going against the current. Particularity will divert you from your destination. Again, I do see it's like how you plan things, how you see things, which again, maybe you're someone who's pretty logical. You know, maybe you are a man, and I think men in general are more logical, or it's just your inner masculine energy. Things are shifting a little bit here for you, but you still have the 10 of Pentacles. It's just maybe not in the way that you particularly thought or saw it, or in the timing. You still have that 10 of Pentacles. It's coming no matter what, if you do keep going. And I do feel like through this healing, you really do, you know, there's something very beautiful at the end of it. Now, I am going to go grab the Kalima deck. All right, Divine Mother and Father, Holy Spirit of God, what is the final message for the collective? Kura Kula, okay? Number 34, you can be seeing the number 7 or 34. Now, just looking at this card in general, I know that Kura Kula is the art of releasing while also receiving. So Kura Kula does represent like subjugation. Kura Kula represents releasing things while also still attracting things. So try not to also get in black and white thinking. I do feel like there's a death and rebirth here, but try not to get in black and white thinking. Again, it's not the end. And you could very much, well, maybe be going through a dark night of the soul or healing very deeply and releasing. But at the same time, you can still be a magnet for miracles and for blessings. 34. Yes. Oh, yes. So this is definitely Shiva Kalima energy. And we did get release fear, because it's going to say this too. She is vibrant red, pulsating with the feminine power of enlightened activity, infusing our hearts with her capacity for sacred sorcery to conjure and create, according to love's guiding wisdom, to receive divine inheritance of blessings and support of sacred fulfillment. Certain karmic conditions that resonate at a lower frequency need to be cleared away. This 10 of Pentacles is coming for you. It does feel like there's deep soul healing here, maybe some forms of escapism, as well as inner child healing that is going to bring in that 10 of Pentacles, but that needs to be cleared away in order for it to come in. Kura Kula symbolizes a time of rapid movement on your life path and the freedom to attract what you need and what you want. However, you must be willing to let go of negativity and that of which does not belong in your world. So I do feel like there's a halt in work. Work has slowed down, or you have to take some time off for some reason. Okay, whether it's taking time off or like any of those things I mentioned. But it's only temporary. With the death card, don't see it. And that is the Kali Ma energy. She's the goddess of like death, right? But not in the way that we know it, in the means of transformation. And so, yes, this is like a death and rebirth, but it's not the end. Kura Kula is a shamanic folk goddess who was adopted into the spiritual traditions of Hinduism and Buddhism. Her hook sword represents, and it's interesting, we do have 7, and it's 7 7. So you could be seeing 7 7 7. Her hooked sword represents her semi-wrathful nature. She can magnetize or repel as need be, overcoming negativity in all dimensions and from every direction. One of the powers that Kura Kula bestows is the ability to remain open to life without fear. Sometimes, due to past experiences of pain, we close ourselves off from life in an effort to avoid further harm. This is such a confirmation of what I was reading, is that what it feels like too is, again, there's some form of like studying, working very hard in some way, shape or form, but as a means of escapism. And I do feel like for some of you, it may be specifically socializing. It doesn't have to be that, you know, but you found it hard to fit in your life. And so because you found it hard to fit in, I do feel like you excelled in other areas, you know, or I get a lot of logic, a lot of wisdom. But it's safe to connect with people now. There are going to be people who see you, who understand you, who love you. And I do feel like you've maybe closed yourself off from different areas of life to avoid those things you went through as a child. In doing so, we unwittingly close ourselves off from the gifts that are meant for us. While seeking solitude and sanctuary as a time to heal is a wise practice, we need to take care that we remain open to life. This reading makes me want to cry because this is exactly what I'm seeing, is like you have secluded yourself in life. And that's why I was getting that Albert Einstein energy, which if we do study the history of Albert Einstein, he was pretty secluded, you know? It's safe to connect with people. There are going to be people who see you, who love you. It's safe to express yourself as you are, even if your voice shakes. We need a balance. We need to balance a heightened need for personal space, especially for particularly sensitive souls. And you are one that's very sensitive. Not only are you very wise and intellectual, you're very spiritually gifted. So you are a very sensitive soul, and it makes it hard for you to socialize or to put yourself out there. But there's a balance, because you are going to be receiving and manifesting healthy and nourishing connections. Otherwise, we could experience depression and profound fatigue through essentially cutting ourselves off from the revitalizing nature of life itself. So you're someone who, again, it's like you don't feel like you fit in. Maybe you just have only like a handful of people around you or less. However, I feel like that's actually caused you maybe some forms of anxiety, etc. And it does feel like this deep soul healing, it's not the end. You're actually, I see you really winning. 6 of Wands, 6 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. And with the 9 of Wands, it's because you kept going. 9 of Wands is the card of the wounded healer, okay? Kurukula's ability to simultaneously attract the beneficial and repel the negativity is an extraordinary blessing. Her spiritual talents allow us to pursue our paths with eagerness, openness, and enthusiasm, while trusting that any exploitative, sabotaging, or otherwise unworthy energies will not be able to cause harm. If you have felt an inner conflict around being open, but have also felt the need to self-protect, perhaps due to your sensitivity to psychic energies, the Oracle brings peace. In connection to Kurukula, we can be powerfully defended without being defensive, and incredibly open without being vulnerable to negative influences. So for some of you, what may resonate too is like, you're just a sensitive soul. You're so spiritually gifted that like, it's like going out to the grocery store, going out to like restaurants, and like you just feel everything, right? You're, again, telepathy, you just know, right? And so it could be hard in public spaces because it's like, okay, well, I'm feeling everybody's energy. However, I do feel like you're actually coming into a time where you can heal this, know even how to self-protect even more, and you can put yourself out there. For these sensitives and the empaths amongst us who struggle with picking up unwanted energies from others, she is a glorious savioress, okay? So whoever I'm reading for, Kurukula, all right? She empowers openness combined with effective boundaries. This brings more peace and relaxation to the heart, which in turn enhances our capacity to attract what we wish into our lives. It's interesting that we have Artemis as well as Kurukula, who has a bow and an arrow. Did we have Apollo as well? I think we picked out Apollo. So there's a lot of bow and arrow energies, because it talks about the bow and arrow too, which represents her power as a warrior goddess. Her presence supports us to gain clarity on where our energies need to go and clear away distractions or ineffective methods and strategies, which that's what this is showing with Be Flexible. So some of you may resonate with Shiva or Kali Ma. And again, this shift in your money, your career, or what it is that you've been working on, it is not the end. You're actually going to be very, very successful. But I do feel like things have been halted because these the areas, right, of your life personally and maybe even socially, where Spirit is saying you're going to be very successful. I need you to be willing and open, to be open with others, to put yourself out there, to be in groups, etc., especially if you found that hard in the past. Despite her status of goddess of magnetic attraction, Kurukula doesn't resonate with clutter. Her fierce side repels it. This allows us to align our lives with what is truly serving the soul and to have the courage to release everything else. Release and you shall receive, okay? So this is actually a very beautiful reading. Again, whoever I'm reading for, your mind is so beautiful. Like, you are such a beautiful soul. And I feel like I'm even saying these words and maybe other people haven't seen that about you. Whether it's people really actually not understanding you. Again, I do get some sort of creativity block, or maybe even some walls you've created from not feeling like you were understood, especially in family. So whether or not people have said this to you or not, you're such a beautiful soul. You have so much to offer to yourself, to the world, to other people. You know, people will receive you. They will understand you, even if you felt like you were misunderstood in the past. And this deep soul healing is leading to your biggest win yet. All right, now that's what I have for you. I hope that it resonates. I'm sending you so much love and so many blessings to your day.